we're going to talk about one of the big reasons why you might be frustrated in your business because you're not selling anything. And we're not going to talk about the product. We're not going to talk about getting people to your store. We're going to talk about one other thing, and it's how you say things. There's a lot of people who get frustrated in their business when they aren't selling things, especially online. And I want to address the online portion of this because right now we're dealing with online business. That's what I want to talk to you guys about on this show. And the big frustration as to why you're not selling things is, okay, I'm new to this internet thing. I've been able to sell I've been able to sell in person when people come to my store, but I can't sell online. Why is it not working for me online? And it's a big frustration that a lot of people have, especially in this area that I live in, where there's not really everything's kind of old school. Nothing's really been modernized. There are no modern companies here yet. It's a very old beach town. And a lot of people say it's the product, or it's that my product isn't cheap enough, things like that. And I want to say that could be an issue, but there is also something you need to consider that a lot of people miss. It's not the first consideration business owners take into account, and it is how you say things. How you say things is extremely important. It's extremely, extremely important. I'm learning that in my relationship with my wife, that saying things, the way you say things is way more important usually than what you say, or than like what you meant behind that. It's the way you come across. And humans are wired to think, I believe humans are kind of wired in their heads. They're usually always thinking about themselves. That's their first go-to, is to think about, how can I protect myself? And I think that also comes into business when you are dealing with people. You've got employees you have to take care of. You have yourself you have to take care of, and you have your customers you need to take care of. It's a crazy, crazy responsibility that you have. And people are always thinking about, how can I protect myself? What's in it for me? And the way you communicate is the way that that's the thing that has the most impact. You might have a great product, and it might be at a good price. It might not be at the best price. I don't know. But it's the way you say things that not a lot of people think about. A lot of personal development is, and if you were to go to see a counselor, my wife and I actually go to see a counselor. We're very open about that. And we go to see her once a week, a marriage counselor. We've been doing it for, I think, 2 years or so. And it's been so, so helpful, because the first thing that she taught us, and, I would encourage everyone to go see a counselor if they can afford it. They should make it a priority, because it really encourages you to think about how you think about yourself and others and how you interact with others. And one of the biggest things she taught us, it's nice to go to a counselor just because you want to learn. Not necessarily if you're having marriage problems or, other issues in your life that you need a counselor for, but if you just go because you want to learn how to be a better person, with those like in your life or, in yourself, a better way to think about how you are and how you come across to others. I recommend it. Anyways, one of the first things she taught us is that the way you communicate is so important, and intentions don't really matter. Because a lot of arguments in life come up because you come across as something else, something that you maybe didn't even intend. and she taught us how to say I statements. I'm just giving you a great example, that I'm going to talk about communicating and marketing. I statements. If I go to my wife, and I'm not a counselor by any means, but this is just kind of what I've learned and have tried to apply in my life. If I go to someone that I have an issue with, and like this person said something a little bit harshly, I can't go, I feel like you were too harsh. Then that's going to make that other person defensive, and then they might get upset, and they might raise their voice, and then that'll make you defensive, and then you'll raise your voice, and then there's an argument. Bang. That's an argument. Whereas instead, if you approached it with, when you said blank, I felt blank. That's what I felt. And then you talk to that person and you gain understanding, and that gives them a chance to say, oh, yeah, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I may have come across too harsh. Boom. There you've got a great conversation, and you've actually made it productive because you're talking about yourself and you are not accusing. And so my whole point in saying this is that is not common knowledge to approach conversations like that. It's common knowledge that arguments start, and after being married, if you're not married, this is still works with your relationships with people you're close to. When there's conflict, it's not common knowledge to make an I statement. It's very common to make an accusatory statement, even if you had good intentions. And so I think it's the same way in marketing, is that everyone's thinking about the products and the maybe it's not cheap enough, and they don't think about how they're communicating. And that's you can't miss that. You can't be like everyone else. You need to be doing the right thing, and the right thing is to communicate in the right way. You can have an okay product as long as you don't make any outlandish claims. You can, as long as you just advertise the product for what it is and promise to fulfill on that, if that's fine. You don't have to have, you just have to also, another way that you could sell that product is make sure that they feel confident in the value they're getting, but then just communicate about it right. And then you've got happy people. You don't need an amazing product. So communication is so, so, so important. And I want to make sure you get this and you actually practice communicating in a right way that communicates value and actually touches on what the people that you're marketing to, they need. Because that's what marketing is. You are trying to fulfill someone's need, and you are trying to make them see this need, and so that they want you and want to be a part of your tribe and what you have to offer. So just communicate right. That's so, so important. And I want you to read all the marketing books in the world, because that's what marketing is it's about communication. And what you communicate, and even pricing is a method of communication, but it's just that, it's communication. And so you have to master the art of communication and figuring out what you need. So what your customers need. Right now, I'm trying to be a good communicator. Before I started recording this, I was like, okay, I want to talk about this one concept in marketing, and I haven't even talked about that concept of marketing yet. But I want to make sure it's of value to them. So where are they at? Well, there's probably a lot of business owners out there that feel like they're not selling. Why aren't they selling? Well, everyone's thinking about cutting prices and making sure their product's good enough, but they're not thinking about how to communicate. And then I was like, oh, wow, that sounds a lot like what I've learned in counseling, is communication's key. And so I just tied all those together, and I'm like, this is the best way for the people that are having a hard time selling to understand this concept, is to say communication is the thing you need to master, not reducing your prices, not because without marketing, you don't have a business. Marketing is literally just convincing people to buy from you. And if you're not having people buy from you, you need to focus on marketing. So the concept I want to talk about, it's one of the most, how do I explain it? It's one of the things that you need to understand, and it's one of the things I first understood when I was getting into marketing. And it impacts everything you do in your business from this day forward. I'm saying it has to. And you have to listen to this. And you will not forget it. You have to tell yourself you will not forget this. You will write it down. You will keep it on your desk. And you will look at it and you will say, how will I do this today? Okay? You got to do that for me. Because it's that important. I've taught this in the past. And it's been really, really good. So let's get into it. There's 3 main points. You might want to write them down and then write a short description or a short example, because I want to run through an example under each main point. Take a drink because I didn't think I'd talk so much about this. All right. First point is features. You can talk about the features of what you provide. I'm going to talk about 3. The first one is the worst one. So the first one is features, and it's the worst one. But I want to give you an example of what talking about features is. Let's say I am starting a lawn care business. I've used this example in the past because I have started one. It's just a simple example that, it's a simple business model. It's a lawn care business. You just buy a mower and you go advertise and you go mow once a week. If I were to talk about and try to sell someone on the features of this, getting their lawn mowed by someone else, what would I say? I would say probably, hey, I would love to come mow your lawn. My mower can cut at 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches, 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches. You get to pick. I can seed your lawn. I can seed your lawn with this, with this, with this. I can come weekly, or I can come bi-weekly. What other features? There's other features you could offer with a lawn care business. You could say, oh, and I can trim your hedges. I've got this pair of trimmers, and I can do A, B, and C styles to trim your hedges. I can do a triangle, I can do a square, or I can do a circle. Do you think you're really going to convince anyone with that? Probably not. And this is really, if you're hearing this and you're like, that's so basic, I don't do that. That's good. Don't do that. But I want to say there's extreme measures, which is what I'm demonstrating right now of features, but there's also the really subtle measures of features that you might be doing in your business that you need to be really, really careful about. If you're communicating these things over social media, over, videos, I don't know, whatever, or your website, whatever it is, you just need to make sure you need to go through these 3 things and say, okay, what am I communicating with this? So there's features. I can do this length. I can, do this, and that. Buy from me. It's not that convincing. So that's features. I was going to say something else. Oh, yeah. I actually made something for a client recently. Was not a big commission. or a big project at all, but they wanted something made with their features. And I was like, okay. And it depends on how that person uses it. That really, it matters. But, I didn't turn them down. That's what they asked for, so I gave it to them. So that's features. Second thing is, I might need to think of some examples really quick. Oh yeah. Second thing, first thing is features. Second thing is benefits. So write that down. Benefits is talking about the benefits instead of the features, which is a step up from features. If I want to sell the benefits of me mowing your lawn, I would say your lawn will be healthy. After I mow it, I recommend a 2-inch length. Your lawn will be healthy as a result. I'll come once a week, and so you won't have to worry about when I'm coming. Let's say I will seed it with blank. That's a feature. But then blank has proven to enhance growth and double the time that it takes to grow your grass, and it will look greener. Looking greener. You won't have to worry about when I'm coming, and it will look more healthy because I recommend this length. So those 3 things are all benefits. And that's better than features. No one cares about what length you are mowing the lawn at or what you use to seed. No one cares. It doesn't resonate with anyone. These people are looking to have their lawn mowed. They don't care. They just want it mowed. The second thing was benefits, and with benefits, they want their lawn to look healthy, right? They want to make sure that it's growing faster, that it really comes naturally and it looks green. And they don't really want to worry about when you're coming. They want to be able to count on when the care is coming. So that's benefits. Features and benefits, and then there's the last one, which is the best one. And you have to keep this in mind, that I'm just giving you a blanket example that is very extreme. Like, you will not follow this, but transformation is the third one. And this is the most difficult to implement. Most people do benefits with a little bit of features sprinkled in. If you go on anyone's website right now, and this is 18 minutes, we're going a little long, but if you go on, just search a random website that you've seen recently of some small business, and you will usually see benefits with features laced under them. For example, a lawn care business, you would say, your green grass will look healthy. I used this on your lawn. I recommend trimming at this length. And then, that's how most people do it, is benefits and then features. The last one's transformation, and this is the most difficult to implement because usually people do not say transformation is different than benefits. They kind of view them as the same thing. And they try to do transformation, but they're really just doing benefits. That's why transformation's so hard, is because it's benefits on steroids. It's benefits, but talking to the soul of your the person you want as your customer. So let me give you a blanket example of transformation with lawn care. Now, I would not do this today. It would take a lot more, and I want to explain how it would take more in just a sec, but I want to give you what transformation might look like, or some examples of wording of transformation. Don't just use this, but here's some examples, and then I'm going to tell you how to actually lace those examples through what you're talking about. An example would be, are you worried about your back? If I'm marketing to older people, I want to say, are you worried about your back hurting when you're mowing your lawn? Are you scared? It's just so hard and you dread every Saturday that you have to go mow your lawn. Don't worry about it anymore. You can stay in your AC. I'm coming to mow your lawn. And I will actually give you one free trial. You do not have to worry about paying me. It's that easy. You just have to tell me when to come over. And I'm going to do it for you. And I make sure I stand by all of the measures to keep your lawn healthy and to keep it growing. And I try to make the lawn is my pride and joy, and I will take care of it like a newborn baby. All right? Can you see how that's a little bit different? That's not just talking about the benefits. There's no features in there. It's talking about transformation. It's like, hey, it's talking directly to this person who is having pain in their back, dreads being out in the hot sun, and just wants their AC. They just want to stay inside. They don't want to have to go out. It's the most annoying thing, and they don't want to do it. They just want to have a walk in the evenings when it's dark and it's cool outside. They don't want to be out in the blazing hot sun with a push mower. So that's what transformation is. It's like you can have this transformation. You're visualizing it. You're painting a picture for this person. And that convinces them. That's speaking directly to them. And then you'll also, answer any questions they have in their mind. One of your goals as a marketer or as a developing marketer is to think about what questions your target audience is going to have. And this is your chance to do that, is to say, hey, you're worried about when I'm coming over. I come over at the same time every week. You don't have to worry about that. It's going to be taken care of. It's my pride and joy. I take care of it like a newborn baby. That's you saying you don't have to worry about it when I'm coming over. You don't have to worry about it actually staying healthy because I do this and that to make sure it stays healthy. You don't have to worry about it. That's transformation. And I guess I did a decent example with, saying it like I would actually say it to someone. And I think that's how communication should be in marketing, is you should talk as if you're talking to this person. So, that's really how it should go, is do not talk about features unless it is needed to make a point. I see people lace features throughout, like online, especially throughout long landing pages. A landing page, if you don't know, is one page on a website that has one call to action. That's what a landing page is. So people land on it, and there's one goal, is to get them to take one call to action. And on these long landing pages, they might have little bits of features sprinkled in here but the features are only in there in the context of addressing people's questions. If someone doesn't know, if they're scrolling down, they're reading all of this, and they're like, yeah, I'm still not convinced. I'm more so worried about how this is going to take place. That's something I've talked about in the past, is having clear instructions. Clear instructions, because people are sometimes worried about how something is going to be executed or how it will look practically. That is a question a lot of people have, and you can say you've had the same question with other things. I've talked about this in the past. We use Instacart, my wife and I was worried about how it works, how much I'll have to pay, and so I see on some landing pages, some people midway down the page, they have a video just talking about how the product works and all the features inside of it. But the features are only mentioned to support the question that people have, and in the context of that people are asking the question, how does it work? I'm worried that I won't know how it works when I get in there and actually use this product that you're having, or I actually receive this product or this service. And so features are only in the context of that transformation, that someone's going to get. So remember, features not good by itself ever. Benefits are okay, but that's what most people do. You do not want to just do benefits. Transformation is what you want. And you have to make sure you're speaking to that person and their deepest needs. There's something called an epiphany bridge story that's something Russell Brunson came up with. And I don't want to talk a ton about that. It's his idea. I don't want to, copy it. But in that epiphany bridge story, he speaks to a surface desire, but he also speaks to a core desire, and how whatever he's selling has fulfilled both of those things. Because people have a surface, they want to look good, and then they have a deep desire that maybe they had some hurts from the past that, for example, I could give an example of, like, for the lawn care, someone who's old, whose back is hurting, the surface is, hey, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to take it off your back. Or in my story, I've been an example where I have had an injury and I didn't have to, I didn't have to do X, Y, and Z because I had someone taking care of me. But deep down, I was really actually hurt about, how my ego felt when I had this injury. But really, this person took care of me and encouraged me that I wasn't alone. That's the deeper thing. And I'm trying to sell you on lawn care, and I'm like, if you have those fears of, like, those two things, then I'm here to help you. And I know what that's like. That you have to talk to the deep side of that person, but also, like, the top things, the things on the surface. So that's what I want to talk about. I went really long this time, and that's okay. I hope this was really valuable to you. I felt pretty good while talking about this. Let me know if this was valuable to you. I would love to hear. And I'm going to go about my day. I'm feeling good. I might record another video. Who knows? And it's Saturday here. I'm chilling, hanging out. But yeah, I hope you took something from this. And like I said in the beginning, this is something I want you to know from this point forward, and you to dwell on, and you to think about, and you to figure out how to actually use. So you can switch from, if you're a features person, so you can switch, make that drastic switch to transformation. If you're a benefits person like the rest of the world, don't be like the rest of the world. This is different. You're ready to sell, and you have to talk to the people and what they actually need. So think about that and figure out what they actually need that you can provide, and just provide it. Thanks for sticking around, and I will talk to you later. See ya.